This is G The Hypersapien, and in this video we're going to take a look at Warhammer Commemorative Series Orc War Clans Bawla and Burk Boss Rat Killers. So you get one miniature, but it's almost a bit of a diorama. You have this scene happening with Bawla and Burk and all these rats, and they're slaying Skaven. So you got the warnings and stuff on the side. So you flip it to the back and you get these nice images of Bawla and Burk. You get the base, you see a few different images and a few different angles of the miniatures. Then Warhammer.com, made in UK, Citadel miniatures, and you get a guide at citadelcolor.com/guide. But let's bust this open and have a look. Okay, so you get one 50mm base, you get an instruction manual, and you get the sprue. Take a look at the instruction manual first. Warhammer Commemorative Series Bawla and Burk Boss Rat Killers. Before assembling your miniatures, please read through the instructions in this booklet carefully. A pair of plastic cutters is required to remove the plastic components in this kit from the frame. We advise using a mold line scraping tool to clean up the parts. To assemble your model, you will need plastic glue. Now you can use a hobby knife instead of a mold line scraping tool. I kind of prefer a hobby knife. It's a little bit easier to get into nooks and crannies. But obviously if you're a kid, get some adult supervision or get someone to help you. So 1A, we jump across here first and we put 4 and 5 together here, and we put 6 on here. So it's basically the side of the Orc. You put 2 sides together, 4 and 5. You put the front on, which is 6. And then we jump over here and we have the head, which is 7, and 8 is the back and a part of his arm. Now I will point out the blue parts are the previous steps, so you can see 4 and 5, we put 5 onto 4, and it's showing here or indicating here in blue that this is the previous step. And also the yellow part is where you put your glue, where the 2 pieces meet, so you can see yellow here, here, and obviously here. So it's just showing you where you put the glue and where the next piece attaches to. But we jump down to 1B, jump down here. 13 is a piece of Skaven, and 9 is the arm of the Orc. So we can see we're attaching this skull here onto his shoulder pad. Now 1A, so it's basically just indicating that this is 1A, all the pieces that you've already put together. Again, the blue pieces are the pieces that you've already attached. So the skull, this arm, and then this is the step here, 10 and 11. So it's basically the front of the Orc chest piece, or the front of his armor here. So we glue this together, and then you can see here that it goes onto his body. Now we flip the booklet over. So 1C, the next step is 14 and 12, which is 1B. It's basically again showing you the last step. This is the last step, 1B. 14, it looks like a rat ogre's head. It's going into his hand. And then 12 is this dagger on the side that attaches to his hip. And then we see the finished piece here, sort of shows both steps in this little square here. Step 2 is 17, 15 and 16. It's basically the goblin here. You can see that he's running, and you put the goblin into his feet, the torso and the arms are all attached. Also this little bit of base has the Skaven, the rat that's running. You put the side of the rat into him. And then 18 is the goblin's face, and that's all complete there. Then step 3 is 2 and 1. It's basically a part of the base, a bit of a scenic base going on. You have all this collapsed pieces of wood. It looks like a Skaven storm vermin's trapped under there. The size of the base is 50mm, indicated here. And then piece 3 is the rat. It sort of has this little nice cute little rat sniffing around. So step 4, now we're putting it all onto the base. So I'd probably suggest painting this in sub-assembly. So like the base here, I'd paint this and paint all of this collapsed wood and the Skaven. And I'd personally paint these separately, you know, attach them with a bit of blue tack to a painting handle or however you paint, and then glue these on after. But that's up to you. If you want to assemble it all and paint it, go ahead. Then we have the finished image of Bawla and Burk, boss rat killers here, which looks amazing. So a full painting guide can be found on citadelcolor.com/guide. But it looks really nice. They've done a really nice job with how they painted them. Looks really cool. And also we have some rules for Bawla and Burk, boss rat killer. So I'm not sure how good it'll be in the game, but it'll be interesting to try them out. But it's a nice little piece. Now we'll take a look at the sprue. Already I can see a mould line going down his butt, down to his leg there. So this is what they mean to clean up with the mould line scraping tool, or you can just use a hobby knife to go down and clean up this mould line. But anyway, we'll take a look at the miniature. So these are the two legs that you attach together. You can see a bit of a Stormcast helmet there attached to his belt. It looks like the Stormcast helmet is complete when you put both sides together. Nice armor panels, some wrapping around, pretty much like most of the Oryx, the brutes and stuff like that. The face is really cool. It looks like most of the Iron Jaws, the newer ones at least, like Gordrak or the brutes. Slightly different looking than they were in Fantasy, the Orcs. A nice little head. You can see that he's scarred one side and it looks like one of his eyeballs are missing. Looks like there's no eyeball. Really nice model, really clear details. You can see this is the arm that has the skull, the Skaven Sorcerer skull attaches to it. It looks like all of the other Oryx from the Iron Jaw side. Nice big chopper. Has some nice big plates on his armor. I really like this piece of scenic base where it's all collapsed and it's got a Skaven, a storm vermin I believe it is, underneath. So I haven't painted Skaven in years, so this is going to be quite fun. You have your cute little rat. It's funny how you've got the cute little rat and then you've got this really nasty looking one as well. But this nasty one has his teeth baring. You know, he looks a little bit bigger than the one that's a little bit cute. But he's chasing the goblin. You can see that they're attached to this little piece of base here. But yeah, this is a really good model. Most of the Warhammer Commemorative series, they're always really good quality. Obviously I grab all the orcs to look at. Now I have had this for a while, but I've taken a while to get to reviewing it. We can see the goblin's face here. How cool is that? They're starting to look a little bit more like Nobblers, the way that Games Workshop are doing them. A little bit more like Nobblers from the Ogre Moor tribes. Like their nose is really high up. Sort of their brow meets their nose. I'm not sure if you understand what I mean, but yeah, they're basically starting to look a little bit different than the old school goblins, like night goblins. But yeah, we have the knife that attaches to his hip. We have the goblin running. He has his little hat is flipping over. Just like most Orc War clans or Gloomspite gets, a little bit comedic, also a little bit brutal. Yeah, that skull's really nice. And then that's the piece of the chest, the armor chest piece. The other side is here. And it's one of those ones that has the tongue hanging out. This tongue looks really long, like an anteater. But yeah, overall this model's really nice. Oh, I've got to point out the... must be a rat ogre. But yeah, this is a really nice model. Definitely glad that I've got it. It did take a while for me to review. I apologise for that. But yeah, this is a really good set. Bawla and Burk, boss rat killers, really nice model. I like how it's a little bit of a diorama, a mini diorama going on. If you want to support the channel, in the description box below, I have merch, I have affiliate links, and also buy me a coffee. But if you can't afford to support me that way, please like, please subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a video. Also leave a comment and let me know if you like this model or if you already have it. I'd love to hear your opinions. But as always, I appreciate you watching. This was G The Hypersapien, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.